a hell yeah. You love the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me get a hell yeah. I'm going to take a second to talk to you about underdogs.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly, Eagles flying, you on the team, touchdown, touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing, this a bird gang nation, baby, it's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash, I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog, or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.
What is going on, you guys? That's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So, if you guys know me, I am a Penn State fan, but I am not going to watch. I'm not going to sit here and watch my boys get demolished. They're right now down 10-0. It's not looking good. So we're going to talk some Eagles. That's what always makes me happy, talking about a team that's making me proud right now. Speaking of making me proud, shout out to the Phillies, man. You know, y'all know me. I'm not a Phillies fan. I am not a Phillies fan, but I respect what I'm seeing, man. It is incredible to watch. So this is going to be a lot of fun, man. We're going to talk a little bit about Pittsburgh. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the Eagles. And we're going to talk a little bit about Howie Roseman, man. Howie Roseman has proven time and time again. We have, as Eagles fans, we've been a little bit upset, right? Shout out to my guy, Joey, in the building. What's going on, brother? Look, as Eagles fans, we have talked about Howie Roseman for the better and for the worse. And lately it's been for the better. He has been killing it. I don't know what changed as far as drafting goes. I don't know what, he's always been that guy. He's always been that guy that's been able to kind of swindle trades and work out the numbers. But the way that he's been able to draft as of late has just been incredible. I love watching what he's been able to do with this team. I think that he's pulled every correct string, right? He's pulled every trigger and everything is realistically working out right now. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from this Eagles team. I think it's nothing but up. Quickly, we are going to talk. I'm going to get into the comments real quick, but just an overview of what I think is going to happen with this Pittsburgh game. We should go out there and demolish them, and that's no disrespect to anybody out there in Pittsburgh. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be rude to any Pittsburgh fans. I'm not trying to sit here and, pump my chest out. But you look at the juxtaposition when it comes to stats, when it comes to the numbers, we are the better team. We should win this game. You never know what happens, right? We're coming off of a bye week. Nick Sirianni is not the kind of guy that, Andy Reid was, where he was perfect on bye weeks. I believe we've lost already one game after the bye week. So anything can happen. Maybe we come out and we stumble a little bit and they take advantage. Maybe Kenny Pickett, gets it together. And as I said, but everybody wanted to call me an idiot for some reason, there's a small possibility that TJ Watt might end up playing. I don't think it happens, but he's been pushing to do it. So, people are like, oh, you need to check the reports. Like, that's why we get people on here that know their team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't just go off of what I read and I ask the people that actually cover their team. There's a small possibility. So there's a small possibility that defense gets better. They are getting healthier, right? We had Fran Duffy on yesterday. If you guys didn't watch that interview, it was an amazing interview. It's always a good time having Fran Duffy on. But as he said, that defense was, they were kind of middle of the road as far as what they were doing in the first half of this season, first 6 games of this season. But now they're finally getting healthy. So a healthy, Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's been a stud out there at the safety spot this year. A healthy, couple defensive linemen coming back, couple linebackers at full health. So you never know what's going to happen. They're getting a couple of guys at that cornerback position, which was really a detriment to them going into this season, going into this game especially. So I think that the Eagles should win this game pretty handedly. But, you never know what happens, right? You never know what happens. Look, it really comes down to, is Kenny Pickett going to magically all of a sudden figure it out? I don't think he will. Like I said, I think that the Eagles kind of walk away with this win. But we can't go into there. We can't, obviously it is at home, but we can't go into this game and just think it's going to be an easy win. That's how you end up with those trap games, right? That's how you end up with those games that you look back and you're like, what the heck just happened? So Eagles have to play consistent. Eagles have to play smart, and that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, I would love to hear what you guys are thinking. And please don't bring up please, 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 if you love me, if you're my friend, let's just not bring up this OSU game versus Penn State because it is not looking pretty right now. Penn State does have the ball. But they're just not moving, man. They're just not moving the ball. It is what it is. I do have a side eye on it. So if you guys are watching that with me, let me know what you're thinking about that game as well. But shout out to Remo, man. Shout out to Joey Shakes. Like I said, he's in the building. Shout out to Jacob, man, the resident Steelers fan that we got in the building. And as he said, TJ Watt might come back tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully for you guys. Obviously, as Eagles fans, we don't want to see that. I don't think. Look, I think that TJ Watt, if he's fully healthy, if he comes back and he's, the TJ Watt of old, it definitely is something to kind of worry about. This Eagles offensive line hasn't been bad, obviously. They've been very good number-wise. But when you really watch the tape, when you really watch the film, and this kind of goes half and half, I will say that, but there's a lot of times that Jalen Hurts has a lot of pressure in his face. And it's not against the caliber of TJ Watt, right? We went against Micah Parsons. Lane Johnson really held him down, and that's awesome. But we have seen some pressure from the edges. We have seen that be something that kind of is to worry about. I won't say like it's going to be the detriment of this team. We're going to lose because, we can't hold the edges. I think we can. But at the end of the day, I think it is something to watch for, especially if they are able to get a TJ Watt back in the lineup, man. I mean, he's a dog. It is what it is. He's a dog. So Jacob says, if we somehow beat y'all tomorrow, I'm going to be hyped. If y'all beat us tomorrow, it's all about what happens in the game. I've said this before. Like, I'm not looking forward to losing, right? I don't want us to lose. Don't get me wrong. But I am looking forward to seeing how they react. I am looking forward to, we've seen this team punched in the face, right? We've seen this team get punched in the mouth early in games. We've seen them come back. We've seen them, completely dominate teams in the first half. And we've even seen them take out a team, kind of the Cowboys game last week. We took them out in the second half. We ended that game, right? On our own terms, we ended that game. Whatever you want to say with that, whatever asterisks you want to put with that, it is what it is. We ended that game on our terms. And I think that, when we do lose, or if we do lose, it is what it is. I think we're going to learn a lot about this team. If the Eagles can prove that they can come right back, this is everything that I'm seeing from this Philadelphia Eagles team right now is very, 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 it makes me very optimistic about the future of this team. It's encouraging, I guess is the best way of putting it. It's very encouraging watching this team because they've won ugly games. Like I said, they kind of dominated some teams. They've ended games in the fourth quarter. They've kind of checked off a lot of boxes. They've checked off a lot of boxes. So we'll see what happens. I think that the Eagles are on a path, and I know a lot of people in the media are now putting up that road to perfection because the rest of our schedule kind of looks weak. But I don't want to get there, man. I don't want to get there. Let's take it week by week. I don't really care what our regular season schedule or regular season record is at the end of the year at this point. I think that the proof is going to be in the playoffs. That's where we're going to see how good this team really is. I think that the NFC is kind of weak. So we'll see what happens. I think that if we get into the playoffs, we can make a little bit of a run. It's all about context, right? That's really what it comes down to me for. It's like, we're going to probably lose a game. And I'm not saying that to be, facetious or be a negative pessimist, nothing like that. But there's probably going to be a slip up at some point. You want to see how this team reacts to that. So there's still questions out there to answer with this team, but I think we've answered every question we've been able to thus far, and it's been a positive mark, right? It's been a positive check in that box. But shout out to everybody already in the chat, man. I know this is very, very random. I always appreciate when I do these random live streams and people actually show up. We got 20 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. And listen, if you guys are Phillies fans, I'm sure a lot of you guys are, if you guys are Philly fans, if you guys like New York sports for some reason, if you guys want to just talk sports, man, I do a 3-hour live show on a New York radio sports talk show called The Call Sports. So go on over to www.thecallsports.com and you can listen to me, 6 to 9, and you guys can call in. It's commercial free. It's dope. We're going to have a couple of guests on tonight to talk a little bit about the Jets game versus the Patriots. We're going to have a couple of other guests. We might have a familiar face to you guys as well, talking about the Phillies tonight. So it would really, really mean a lot to me. I really appreciate everybody that just supports me, non-conditionally. It will really mean a lot to me if you guys went over there and checked one of my shows out, man. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I get it. But definitely, man, I appreciate you guys. What's going on, Jeremiah? What's going on, brother? What's going on? T-Well, Port City play. What's goody, Philly? What's going on, brother? Another W for us tomorrow. We overlook none. Prepare. Exactly. You got to just come into every game. And that's one thing that me and, Fran were talking about, that it's like, it doesn't feel like it's pandering at all. It feels like it's real. It feels like this team realistically knows they can't look at any game and be like, oh, we're just better than everybody. They are going into every game with a chip on their shoulder, even if they're they're the dogs. They're not the underdogs. They're the guys that everybody thinks is going to win. They're still going into this with a chip on their shoulder, which I think is huge. It's huge for Philadelphia, man. That's always how we end up winning. That's always how we end up being good, is we go into games and we feel like nobody thinks we deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we win. So keep doubting us. You know what I'm saying? Keep telling us that we aren't winning real games. Keep telling us that our competition this. Tell us that our schedule that. Tell us whatever you want to tell us. Talk whatever junk you want to talk about Jalen Hurts, because at the end of the day, we're learning, we're getting better each game, and we're winning. That's a crazy combo right there. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be learning and getting better. It's one thing to be getting, just winning, but you're not really getting better. You're just kind of coasting. It's one thing to even be winning and learning, but not getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like that, to have all three, we got the trifecta. We have a young team that is learning on the fly. We have a young coaching staff that is learning on the fly. Both of those facets of the team getting better each game. I feel like each week, each day, right? 1% better each day. It's a beautiful thing. And then you add to that you're 6-0. It's insane, in my opinion. It really is insane to think a couple years ago, people were kind of scoffing at the Philadelphia Eagles because of the situation with Carson Wentz, right? People were looking at the Eagles and being like, I can't believe this team just did this and they're going to be terrible for how many years. And we're talking Super Bowl. We're realistically sitting here talking Super Bowl, which is just, it's crazy to me. It really is crazy to me. What's going on, Scoop Doo? What's going on? Yeah, I'm hyped too, man. I think that the Eagles have every reason to be hyped right now. This is a very good team, and like I said, a very young team. So it's only going to get better. In my opinion, it's only going to get better, man. Let's be sure to hit that like button. We got 30 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like button, man. We only got 12 likes. Let's get that up to like 20. Can we get up to 20 real quick? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But look, man, any Philly fans in the building? Any Philly fans in the building? I mean, I would love to hear how y'all feeling right now. Like, it's got to feel good as a Phillies fan right now. You guys are just killing it right now. Penn State is just getting killed right now. It is terrible being a Penn State fan as of late, man. I feel like we always get into these situations. We end up losing the big games. It's heart-wrenching. It really is heart-wrenching, man. It really is heart-wrenching. We 5 away from 20. Can we get that extra 5? We got 30 people in the chat. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, let me know what y'all thinking, man. Is Howie Roseman the best GM in the league? I really do think he is. And I really don't think it's that close. Name another team that has been able to flip assets like he has. Name another, and that's one thing I want to know. I want to know what's going on with this staff in general. Is there a shift in power? Is there just a more open ear from Howie Roseman? Like, I don't really know, but it feels like this staff is actually working together in a beautiful way, because we've been able to draft well, right? We've been able to make these trades and make these good acquisitions. And I feel like everybody's just doing their job now, right? I feel like everybody is actually in their position and they're doing what they're supposed to do. I don't know. Like, the past couple years that I've had this show, it's been about like me saying what the Eagles can do better, what the Eagles, need to do better, what they need to do right in order for them to get where we want them to be. I feel like we're pretty damn close to where we want them to be. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I feel like we're pretty damn close to where I want to be. So let's get it. I mean, it's only going to get better. I really, truly feel that, man. I really, truly feel that it's only going to get better for the Philadelphia Eagles and this team, man. They just have the right leadership, the right players. And hey, tell me if I'm bugging. Please tell me if I'm bugging, because I really don't see it. I really see this team just only getting better. But what's going on, Ryan Rowe? What's going on? Remo K says, I hate Ohio State so much. You are not alone, bro. You are not alone. What is it? Still 10-0 end of the first. It's just been ugly, man. honestly, I don't want to get too far into a rant. If you guys want to hear me really go in on Penn State, I have a whole section of the show tonight on thecallsports.com that I'm going to be talking about the Penn State Nittany Lions in depth. But just quickly, I mean, Sean Clifford already 2 interceptions. This has been the story of the year. The story of Franklin's lifetime, if I'm being 100% honest. It's cool that you can get great defensive players. It's cool that you can get some really good wide receivers, some good skill position players. If you're not going to put an asset at that quarterback position, and it's not just that we are not getting good guys, we are letting guys decommit that are way better than the guys that we're starting. Sean Clifford should not be our starter. I'm sorry, he shouldn't have been our starter a couple years ago. There were better players. There were better players. I love Trace McSorley, but there were better players that we had on the roster that we just overlooked. It's tiring. It's tiring being a Penn State fan at this point because you continuously see the downfall. And I didn't want to get too hyped about this year because I knew I knew it was gonna come here. Unfortunately, we can't play big. We can't beat big teams. We can't beat big teams. That is big. That is big. That is a big stop. I mean, look, if they could get it going, man, the defense is all our hope. That's really all I actually believe in. I really don't believe in our offense at all. I really don't, Remo. And maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. What's going on, Rock the Artist? What's going on, brother? T. Will says Hurts versus Pickett, who they said may replace Hurts. This one matters for certain. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't we take Pickett out for dinner or something like that? Didn't the Eagles take him out for dinner? How about them Phillies and Sixers last night? Next, our Eagles. Hey, I ain't no Sixers fan, but yeah, they look good. Yeah, they look good. Well, aren't they like 1-4 though? Ain't that their first win? Am I tweaking? I gotta make sure before I say that. They 2-4. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. That was their second win. You right. You right. Hey, good for you. I'm a Nets fan. We suck, so it is what it is. Y'all have it. Y'all can have it. I'll be at the Texans game. I can't wait. Oh, that's lit. That's dope. That's definitely dope. I would love to. I have to get out to a game this year. I don't know which one, but once work kind of calms down for me, I'm definitely trying to go out to a game tonight or this year. So we'll see which one. I don't know which one I want to go to. Maybe I'll just wait to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll just wait to the playoffs and spend a rack on a ticket real quick. Hurts could be Howie's golden child when all is said and done. It puts a nice little check mark on Howie's resume, man. To be able to have the patience to wait it out. If he continues to get better, which I feel like he will, it really does look good for Howie Roseman. It really does look good for Howie Roseman. I mean, look at what he was able to do in 2016, right? Look at what he was able to do in 2016, right? He was able to bring it. I'm talking the off season of 2016, going into our Super Bowl year. He was able to bring in Alshon Jeffrey when we had like no money, right? We had like no money at all. He was able to bring in a Patrick Robinson who played at a Pro Bowl level for us that year. He was able to bring in another couple guys. He was able to build a team and bring in a coach that knew how to work with his team. He gave up assets to go up and get a quarterback that ended up having an MVP caliber season until he got hurt. Like all the pieces that he put together for that year. And then you look at all the pieces he put together for this year, it's kind of crazy. It's actually kind of crazy to see how well he's been able to build these teams off of the backs of terrible years. Like you look at what he did right after Chip Kelly left. Obviously, we were winning games, don't get me wrong, but those were some bad years. If you're an Eagles fan, those were some like disheartening years. You were losing the core of your team. People hated playing for Philly, and it was just not the type of swag that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? So I stay home, but no, it wasn't the swag that we wanted. And then you look at this with the whole Carson Wentz situation. It wasn't a good vibe. It didn't feel right. And then you're able to turn that around mad quick. Howie Roseman is the GOAT right now. Howie Roseman, he might need his own statue. Keep it a stack. He might need his own statue. What's going on to the OG Desert Eagle? What's going on, brother? What's going on? I love that meme that you made about the Cowboys too. That was hilarious. But he said, dog, stay at home is dumb expensive. At least I pay now in advance. Last time I checked, cheapest tickets against Pittsburgh was $550. What? That's crazy. That is crazy. Hey, when you're a winning city, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you're a winning city. That's crazy. Hey, I'll pay that ticket to watch my team win. That's that. I don't even care. It has to be a good team though. It has to be a good game. I have to try. This isn't the one I would do. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Who would I want to go see? I know this is mad random. Who would I really want to go see? I guess maybe the next Washington game would be kind of fun to see. Maybe the Green Bay game. Tennessee might be a good one. I wonder how much the tickets for the Giants game in New York to end the season would be. I want to go to see the Cowboys game in Dallas just because I want to see the looks on all their faces when their Christmas is ruined. You feel me? Kareem Hunt would fit so damn well on this team, man. Look, I wouldn't mind getting another running back. We need I'm not saying I'm in a dire situation for a running back, especially not like a top tier guy. I think if you need a running back, it's because you want to improve your pass protection from that position. I think that's really what we're lacking right now. Obviously, the production from Boston Scott, the production from Kenneth Gainwell hasn't been up to what we really wanted to. But you know, and there is a question, if Miles Sanders does go down, knock on wood, what do you do then, right? What do you do then? But I don't know. That's a tough question. As long as you're not giving up too much, I'm with you, Remo. As long as you're not having to give up too much, I'm with you. Go ahead and upgrade that position because we've seen what a good running game and a good committee running game can do for this team. So I'm with you. I can't really disagree there. It's all about what we have to give up. Desert Eagle says Giants, Washington, or Tennessee. Yeah, those would be good games. Yeah, those would be good games to go to. I can't wait till we beat the Giants. I really can't, just so that we can shut everybody up. Because I said we were going to sweep this division. Everybody called me crazy. I said that we might lose to the Dallas Cowboys. I did say that. I said one game, and I said it was the first one. But now, since we won that game, we sweeping them boys. I really don't care. I really don't care. Dak Prescott is garbage this year, so I really ain't worried about it. Rock the Artist says it's not Howie Roseman no more. It's King. For real, it's King Howie right now. It really is. I don't know. I really want to know about like I said, we always knew about the money. We always knew about all that. But I want to know what the heck is going on with the drafting. Like, who got into his head? Oh, the Steelers kicker's out against the Eagles, Chris Boswell. That's tough. And their cornerback, Josh Jackson. I don't know how big that is for them, but that's tough. Chris Boswell, that's tough. They better. We are fully healthy. We better mollywop these boys. We better. Do people say that? Do people say that? We better mollywop these boys. That's all I'm saying. Sam says y'all drafting still trash. Heck nah. Look at these last two drafts. These last two drafts have been epic. But Sam, how you feel about our Nets, man? They looking. Make me feel better about these Nets, Sam. Make me feel better about these Nets. I just love how he runs. He runs so angry a fourth or a later, and I'm good. I would be down with that. I would be 100% with you, Remo. If we can get him for a fourth or later, there's no complaints for me. There's no complaints for me. Vincent, what's going on, Vincent? Says, peace, Joe. I hate to say that I told you so about Jalen, but he's far from a complete quarterback, but he's making strides. I agree 100%. You were right. You could say you told me so. You could say it. It's funny. I think it's funny. The people that watch the show, the people that actually rock with me and everything, you guys come in like that. You guys say it. You'd be like, hey, we told you he was going to get better. We told you to be patient, and it's true. But a lot of people just think that I was sitting here blatantly lying about this guy, but he's made strides, man. And I cannot even complain. I can't wait to see where he's going to end up. Right. I can't wait. And I'm enjoying the process. So I'm not rushing it, but I'm enjoying seeing him grow, man. I really am. Steelers can sign Dicker the kicker. Yeah. Hey, hopefully he's still in Philly. Maybe he could definitely go do his thing. Ben Simmons will play better defense. Hopefully. This whole team needs to play better, just better. They just need to play better. Ben Simmons, there was a report that Ben Simmons is afraid of getting fouled, so he doesn't want to play aggressively. Our whole team is just bad right now, from the coaching down. So it's really hard. It really, really is hard to just blame Ben Simmons. But hey, get it in. I get it. Philly fans deserve to get every little stab in they want at Ben Simmons. What do I think about Ben Simmons right on your squad? Hey, that's my thing. He's not the worst part of my team right now. Everybody sucks. I don't know, man. We need a big man. We need a real true center. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can make something happen at trade deadline or something like that. But we ain't got money. I don't know. The future of this Nets team is just not very bright. Like, it's not just that we're not good this year. It's one thing if we were not good and we were getting our first round pick and maybe we're in the sweepstakes for a good, player, but we ain't even got our first round pick. Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna try and build a team through free agency and G League and Ben Simmons. Like, it's one thing that we suck, but it's almost worse that we just have no future right now, and that just hurts. What's going on, Blue City Empire, man? Your Giants looking good. Your Giants looking good. New York Giants might be trading for wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. I've been seeing that. I see that you guys gave up Kadarius Toney. He's upset. Kadarius Toney was upset. Oh, did we just score? We just scored, Remo. Hold up. Okay, Penn State. Who got the touchdown? Damn, I missed it, man. I got to turn the game back on. I'm being a terrible fan. I'm a terrible fan. It is what it is. Clifford got it. Okay, Clifford. See, when I talk junk about Clifford, he actually does stuff. That's how I feel. Go Penn State. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 43 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. Join the family. Hit that notification bell too, man. It's like YouTube has been messing with me. I know this is mad random, so I appreciate everybody that even came in, bro. But I'm going to try and start being a little bit more. I know I say this a lot. I'm going to try and be a little bit more consistent. But one thing that is consistent is I do a Saturday night show, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday, every single Saturday on the callsports.com right now. So definitely go check it out, man. You could call in, you can talk with me, whatever you want to do. You could text in, all that good stuff. So definitely come show love. It will really mean a lot to me, man. What's going on, Lucky BA guy? Lucky BA guy. What's going on, Lucky? I'm just gonna say Lucky. What's going on? That's right. Go Penn State. Yeah, Penn State is all right. Penn State, man. I don't know. I just feel like I really just don't think Clifford's good, and I could be wrong. I could, talk me out of thinking that because I've felt like that for a long time. I've said that to a lot of people that I respect that cover Penn State, and I've never gotten a major pushback from it. So, like, if it's not on Clifford, I don't know what it is. I mean, Franklin makes some weird decisions sometimes, but I don't know. I just don't think our quarterback play is up to snuff. What's going on, Michael Johnson? What's going on? Yeah, they scored like 5 minutes ago. I wasn't paying attention. I go cap. I go cap. Clifford, the big red dog. Yeah, I don't know, man. I do not know. Vincent said, I'm going to point this out about Bradbury's second half of Cowboys game. They attacked him more with Lamb. The defense might just better with cornerbacks following their assigned wide receivers. Possibly. I really like what I've been seeing out of James Bradbury, lately. I think he's been elite for the Philadelphia Eagles. I would have to really look into that. I have the film, but I would have to watch it again to really give you a good answer about that. Lucky says you live in Florida, but like PA teams. So I'm originally from Connecticut. If you want a full breakdown, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't sugarcoat it. I like the Nets. I like the Yankees. It is what it is. It's just my family grew up liking them. My family grew up in New York. I was, like I said, born and raised in Connecticut. We didn't have major teams, so I kind of got to pick and choose. So yeah, I'm an Eagles, Penn State when it comes to football, and then I'm Yankees Nets when it comes to baseball and basketball. But to my defense, the Nets were in New Jersey, so it was kind of close. Came with a huge tackle, and now 3-and-out for Penn State. Let's go, getting so into this. Sorry, no, you good. Keep me up to date. I'm trying to watch as well, but keep me up to date. I'm cool with that. I just knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew exactly what was going to happen in that Michigan game, excuse me. And that it just ticked me off that I knew exactly what was going to happen with that. So I hope that we can, change the tide here against Ohio State, but I don't think we have a good enough offense. I'm going to say that till I'm blue in the face. We'll see what happens, and I hope I'm wrong. I'll always say that. But it's just frustrating, man. And now James Franklin's here till my grandkids are born. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I hope he picks a better quarterback next. Let's go Yankees. Yeah. Hey, let's go Phillies. No, I'm a Yankees fan. Don't get me wrong, but hey, Phillies have been incredible. And that's not even pandering. Watching what they've been able to do this offseason, this postseason, excuse me, and just the difference that letting go of their coach made, it was just incredible. It was really incredible. It's a great season for them, man. Cinderella story, destiny, team of destiny, whatever you want to call it. It's been a heck of a year to watch. So, and my girl's, a diehard Phillies fan. So we were watching the game yesterday at a bar, and she was for the first cut. And it's funny because there was an Astros fan, right? There was an Astro fan there, and it was a female, and she was clapping, going crazy every time something happened with the Astros. Obviously the home runs and everything. She was going crazy, and my girl was getting fumed. She was getting mad, bro. And then once the Phillies started making some things, I'm over here like, yeah, clap, babe, clap. No, I give them the same energy. So she was getting me into it, man. I hope the Phillies pull this off. I really do. That was an amazing game yesterday. That really was an amazing game. That was an amazing game. What's going on, Leonard? Leonard. What the hell is a Leonard? Leonard. I don't know what the hell a Leonard is. What's going on, Leonard? What does Hurts have to do for the team to sign him long term, or has he already proven it to you? That's a good question. And it's a loaded question. I think that all he has to realistically do is be consistent. If he can give us what he's giving us, be smart with the ball, consistently get better every week, I think that, it's a no-brainer to re-sign him. I think if all ended right now, we would definitely re-sign him. If that's a question, so I think that's really where we are right now. I'm a New York Giants fan, a Sixers fan, a Yankees fan, and I'm also a Devils fan. That's random. I'm a Devils fan too. I guess I can't be calling people random. I can't call people random when you look at my teams. But Sixers. Yeah. What got you into the Sixers? And what got you into the Giants? Explain that to me a little bit, Blue City. One weakness that a team like Tampa will exploit is blitzing Jalen Hurts. The offense coordinator hasn't pulled. Yeah, you're 100% right. And that's why I say we've had issues with the blitz. And it's not necessarily that our offensive line can't control it. It's that when they're uncontrollable situations where your quarterback just has to get the ball out. And look, I've said this before, and this is an unpopular opinion, I guess, but it's on Jalen Hurts too. Jalen Hurts has to be able to read that defense and understand what they're trying to do to him at that given time and make a decision to get the ball out quicker. I'm not saying it's all his fault. I'm not saying, he's terrible, he sucks, he needs to get out of here. I'm just saying we got to be realistic that goes to hand and foot, hand in hand, excuse me, that the coaches have to be more vigilant in telling these guys, hey, be careful to watch for this. And when you see this, let's do that. On the other hand, Jalen Hurts has to say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Offensive line, let's communicate. Wide receivers, let's communicate. That's his job as well. So it goes both ways. But I definitely agree. We have to be better against those all-out blitzes and just, when they try to send the house against us, we have to have more plays that just kind of counteract it. That's it. Who's now the biggest threat to the Philadelphia Eagles? Is it still the Cowboys, or is it now the New York Giants? Right now, the biggest threat to the Philadelphia Eagles are the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that's how the Philadelphia Eagles have to look at this. And I really, and I don't mean that as a slight to any team, but I honestly think if you look at this Eagles team, there's not a game, or Eagles schedule, there's not a game that I look at and I'm like, oh, they're probably going to lose that game, or this one's going to be really tough. I think that we are hand and foot better than a lot of these teams. We are head and shoulders above many of these teams. So I think that the Eagles' biggest opponent is their next opponent. I think that's really what it comes down to. Eagles can't overlook anybody. Eagles can't get cute. Eagles can't, try to do things that are outside of who they are. So that's really what it comes down to for me. It comes down to looking at the next opponent. I'm not too worried about the Giants. I think that what you guys are doing has been very, very impressive. The amount of injuries that you guys have had, to be able to play at the level that you're playing, to have the record that you have, congrats. I'm taking nothing away from you, but the Eagles are their biggest enemy right now. We are the only ones that can beat we're the only ones that can beat us right now, in my opinion. I think somebody's using a hose outside. It just scared the heck out of me. Eagles has Landon says fighting Phillies. Yeah, y'all looking good. Desert Eagle says it's all good, bro. My dad's side of the family who most lives in Baltimore reps Colts, Ravens. Baltimore is obviously, and Cowboys fans. Oh, that's tough. The Cowboys fans part is tough. I think it's the Giants. I really, if we're looking, all right, if I'm not going to use that answer and we're looking at a team and saying who do I think can probably beat us, I would say that the Giants are more unpredictable. I think that if you go into and I'm not saying that they're better than the Cowboys. I don't want you guys to clip that. I think that if you go into a game against the Cowboys, you know what you need to do to beat them. You know what you need to do to stop them, right? The issue is doing it. You have to go out there and actually beat their defense. Their defense is very good. You have to go out there and stop Dak. You have to go out there and stop whatever offensive weapons they're going to be utilizing against you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go and do it. With the Giants, it's like, you know that they have a really good run game, but they've been winning in weird ways. They've been winning in very ugly and very like sloppy ways to be, polite about it. So I get more nervous about a team like that, if I'm being 100% honest, than I do about a team that you know what they're trying to come out and do to you. I don't know what the New York Giants are trying to do. It changes almost every game. They play the team and they don't really play a style. They play every week. It's a different style. Whatever's going to beat the team against them, that's what they do. And I think that that's a little bit more scary than just a Dallas Cowboys team that, like I said, you know what you have to do to go out there and beat them. So, like I said, I'm not saying that the Cowboys are worse than the Giants. I think that the Giants are just a weirder team to play and a harder team in that matter to go ahead and scout and go ahead and work, work game plans into. So that's my opinion. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Oh, that's dope. Dr. J is your grandmother's childhood best friend, and my mom raised me and my siblings as a New York Giants fan. That's dope. I respect that. I always love the story behind me being an Eagles fan, if anybody really cares. Like I said, my dad is a New York. He was a diehard New York fan. Like, rest in peace his soul, but he was just anything New York, he was all about it. So one of my first games was the Giants versus the Eagles. I was very, very young. It was a close game. I can't remember the exact year. It was a very close game. My dad looked at me. He was like, listen, if the Giants win this game, son, you got to be a Giants fan. And me and my dad, we kind of bonded through arguing, bonded through, disliking each other's choices at times. So once the Eagles won that game, I was like, oh, well, it's fly, Eagles fly. And it was just a fun team to watch, right? When I was a young guy, you had, a minority quarterback. You had a minority running back that was nasty. You had like a bunch of guys that looked like me on the field, played like, you know what I'm saying? And they had that swag. Like McNabb used to go in there with his, baggy jeans. And that's how I used to dress back then. So I just identified with the Eagles a lot more than any other team. And it was fun to watch. And that game kind of just put a cap on it. And that's kind of how I became an Eagles fan. Brooklyn Nets, my dad was Knicks fan. And so I had to go against them. So I went with the Brooklyn Nets, and they were good when I was young. They never won anything, but it is what it is. T. Will says, I'll say we need to start playing Quez and more. Yes, and more third down packages for Hurts once he's being blitzed to burn them downfield where Hurt got it running all zone around the seam. I agree. We definitely need to figure something out on, these blitz packages that they're running against us. But we need to play Quez Watkins more, not even play him more. We need to get him the ball more. I was looking at his snaps. He's like between 40 and 55%. I felt like he wasn't playing that much. He's actually out there getting a good amount of snaps. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, let's go, Penn State. We just scored. You can't do that to me. If we really just scored. Let's go. Sean Clifford heard me talking junk. Okay. Let's go, Penn State. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Sean Clifford heard me talking junk, bro. Sean Clifford definitely heard me talking junk, bro. Let's go. That's what's up, man. I'm hyped. But no, we need to get Quez more touches, man, because I love Quez Watkins, and I would love to see what he can do with this team. We have so many weapons, man, that I don't feel like they're really keeping their eye on him. So you got to utilize that. I don't know, man. We're going to see what happens. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 40 people, in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join that family. We are on the road to 4K, man. I want to get that out the way. And go follow me on Twitter. If you guys have Twitter, go follow at Philly TP. We are like, I don't like less than 50 or 60 away from 2K on there. I love, I love talking with y'all on Twitter. So definitely go follow me over there. Random, but I have had Brees Hall, Jamar Chase, Mark Andrews, and Debo all of my fantasy there. Damn, Remo, that's tough. That is definitely tough. Fletcher Cox, man, this is a hard one on film. He looks like the old Fletcher Cox we love. One play, then again, he looks like, yeah, it's true. I don't know what's up with Fletch, and I'm hoping that the addition of Robert Quinn, which we didn't even talk about him yet, but I'm hoping that the addition of Robert Quinn is something that helps him, snap count wise. Maybe it takes a couple of his snaps away and keeps him a little bit fresher, especially down the line, right? Like, yeah, this is a long season. 17 games is no joke, and then our sights are set on 20, right? Our sights are set on getting to that Super Bowl. So it's going to be a long season. We got to make sure that he's 100%. So I 100% agree with you. Me being a Devils fan is the same way when I watched the Devils at Lightning 25-ish years ago and been a fan ever since. It's always great to have family rivalries. Facts. Yeah. Devils, I became a Devils fan because obviously Hartford, Connecticut, we only had the Whalers, right? And a lot of the players that played for the Whalers, I ended up going to the Devils, and I ended up going to a couple of games for free. So I was just like, all right, I guess this is basically the new Hartford Whalers, because there was a couple. Maybe like 3 or 4 good players that went to, I can't think off the top of my head. My college football team is the Gators. Yeah, Penn State all day. I'm out here next to the Gators. My boy, one of my best friends, he's a big Gators fan. Dallas Goedert and Quez Watkins has to run on the drive. Yeah, Dallas Goedert, he's getting looks. He's definitely getting looks. Stepdad is all Phillies fan. My biological father, I'm assuming, is from New York, but somehow he's a Cowboys fan, and one of his Cowboys is a Redskins fan and a Philadelphia Phillies fan. That's random. That is random. Just watched a video today on why Hurts abandoned the deep ball. It's pretty much teams are taking the deep ball away from us. It's playing the best option. I think we will see Watkins go crazy pretty soon. Yeah, no, you're right. You are right. But at the same token, I would love to see. Yeah, and I see that as well. Alex Rollins, NFL. He usually does pretty good work. I'm gonna watch that after I get off of here. But I know that people are trying to take the deep ball away from us. But my thing is, Quez Watkins isn't just a guy that can run straight. He's a guy that I feel like he can play good ball. He can be a guy. We saw it against the Cowboys. I think it was last year. He took one of the screen passes and he took it for like 90 damn yards. What's going on, Drew? What's going on, brother? But I think he can do more than that. My thoughts on Kayvon Thibodeau. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't really watched his film. I haven't really been listening to you guys talk about him, to be honest. Like, I gotta get somebody on here and really chop it up about the Giants, because I really don't know what's going on over there. I really don't. I see the surface level of it, and obviously I talk on the show about it, and we have guests that kind of tell me, what's going on. But I really want to get in depth on how the Giants are winning every week, because I don't watch y'all film. But watching some of the games, watching them back sometimes, it really just feels like it's just like a sloppy wins. Like, and I'm not taking anything away from you. A W is a W at the end of the day. You've played some decent teams. Yeah, it's there's no excuses for you guys winnings, right? Right? Like, I really do agree. I really do feel that. I know a lot of teams will say, you guys, until you guys beat us, I'm gonna say that you're not better than us. But hey, you guys have played a heck of a year, so I don't know. Yeah, I agree on Watkins. Put it in his hands and quick and let him run. Yeah, like let's get him some Deebo Samuels type touches. Let's get him on some end arounds. Let's get him on some different type of plays, man. Like, come on, man. I want Quez to go crazy. Like, I'm pretty cool with the his trainer. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get cool with Quez. So Quez, if you watch this, I'm fighting for you, dog. I'm fighting for you, dog. So it is what it is, man. We'll see what happens, man. Shout out to the Penn State though. Up 14-0. I'm proud right now. I'm happy. I know I was talking bad junk. And I'm gonna keep talking junk because it was working. I don't care. Jalen has to improve his pocket presence. If trust the O line, he has to learn to slide and step up when the blitz is coming to hit Quez down the field. I agree. To an extent. I do agree to an extent. I don't. I agree. Actually, I'll take away the extent. I do agree with that. I was gonna say, like, I don't want to put it all on Hurts, but that's not really putting it all on Hurts. That's a true statement. He has to get better at that, and I feel like I've said this before. I'll say it again. We are talking about a team right now that is 6-0, and I can sit here and say we need to get better at this, we need to get better at that, and it's not hating, it's not pessimism. It's realistically looking at the film and saying, "Yo, we need to get better here, we need to get better there." But think about what happens when we do. How do you get better as a 6-0 team? We have obvious, and I'm not saying that to be facetious. I'm not saying that to be like, oh, let's not ever look at what's going wrong or only look at what's going wrong. But we realistically have an idea. Damn, come on, man. We realistically have an idea of the floor of this team, and that's a 6-0 team, because I don't see us getting worse than what we've been. I think that we can only get better. So it's a scary statement when you start sitting there saying that these guys, they need to improve here, they need to get better here. And again, I did have Fran Duffy on yesterday. I implore a lot of you guys to go watch that, because he even talked about how he felt Robert Quinn was going to get utilized in this defense, and he talked about how this team is not standing pat. They are not going just to stay here and say, okay, we're good now, we're 6-0, it's over, we won everything. No, there's way more on the plate, on the table, just like Jalen Hurts likes to say. A lot of meat on the bones. So it's, it's scary to think that this team can only get better. Do you think the PI calls should only be 15 yards in the NFL like they are in college? I'm leaning towards they do, just because of game-breaking penalties. That's a good question. I never thought of that. Ohio State's on the Penn State 13. They probably gonna score. Whatever, man. I'm not gonna be pessimistic. That's a great question. I probably would. I think that it, kind of slows the game down, but I'm also a guy that loves defense. So I think that it helps defensive guys, and there's so many rules to help the offense. I think that's one that could help the defense, but would it lead to a lot of guys just, holding on 50-yard bombs, So I don't know. That's a good question. It's a two-way street. There's always going to be those people that take advantage of rules, right? There's always going to be that team, but Kayvon Thibodeau is everywhere. He gets after the quarterback on the left, and then somehow he gets after the quarterback on the right. You don't know how he's going to do. That's crazy. Yeah, they got a penalty, pass interference. I'm gonna watch a little bit of Kayvon Thibodeau. See what I'm thinking about him. And next live, I'll come back with a better answer. But shout out to everybody still in the chat, man. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it if we get to like 35 likes. I think that's doable. But I really appreciate everybody that tuned in. I am about to get out of here. Like I said, if you guys want to listen to me for 3 more hours, if you guys want to call in tonight, I will be on thecallsports.com. It's live 24/7, nothing but sports. So definitely call in, man. We're going to be talking about a little bit about everything. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. About to go 7-0, baby. Peace!
Everywhere, this is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly was flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man soft. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do 'em in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.